Welcome back, this is Matt from Jaggers Brewing Co. Today's project, Roggenbier. So, why I like to dabble with that whole historical category of beers where there isn't a whole lot of them commercially, or they're so historic that they're tough to get a hold of, they're region locked, or whatever the case may be. I was introduced to Roggenbier by like another YouTube channel, and I was like, man, that really sounds really good. And I cannot for the life of me remember who it was that brewed it, that I was just like, oh, I've got to brew that. And I know, you know, again, painting with a wide, broad brush, you know, Roggenbier appears to be kind of like a rye Hefeweizen. You know, yeah, no, whatever. Anyways, rye has been one of those ingredients that I find myself liking more and more of. You know, here at the house, you know, I keep some rye whiskey on hand because I really enjoy it. And so I've had a couple homebrew versions of these Roggenbiers, and I really haven't changed my recipes since the first time that I brewed it. When I started researching recipes, I found a lot online. I tried to take all those common denominators that I knew that looked like they worked well, because everybody had them. Of course, you've got to have rye. Because you're using rye at a higher percentage, you've got to have those rice hulls, and then, you know, you need some base grains and things like that. So when I did that, I just started brewing it, and I really enjoy my Roggenbier. Some of the other ones that I've had that are homebrew, they seem to tend to kind of use the Hefeweizen yeast like I do, but they seem to really push the kind of banana esters instead of kind of like those the phenolics of like the pepper and the clove. I kind of enjoy that a little bit more than I do the banana in this regard, using that particular yeast. Now when it comes to Hefeweizens, I primarily enjoy kind of more of the banana side of the Hefeweizen as opposed to the clove and the pepper side of it. But I think because those cloves kind of match, you know, like what rye does, that I enjoy that a little bit more than I do having that kind of banana sweeter type Roggenbier. But I haven't had too many of them as far as that goes. I only know of about 3, maybe 4 other homebrewers that have brewed them. And out of them, I've only really had 3 out of the 4. I knew somebody in my brew club just recently brewed one, and I can't wait to see what theirs tastes like and compare it. Now granted, style guide wise, I kind of feel like I'm fairly close on it. I've been turning this one into some competitions just to see what it would do. It's kind of middle ground so far. We'll compare those score sheets at the end of the year and kind of see what the judges are thinking. Poured this one a little wonky, so it kind of got a little bit more head on it. But check out that color. It's a beautiful color there, in my opinion. Nice, clean looking beer. Got a good amount of carbonation there, for sure. Maybe it's a little touch high on carbonation. So I brew this beer once a year, generally, and I normally share it with my friends. I will probably this is one of those rare occasions that the majority of them stay with me, and I only let a little bit out to my friends and family because I enjoy this beer so much. It's a really good beer in my opinion. I've got a friend from Germany. He came over the last time that I brewed this. He was here for the actual brew day, and then he came by, you know, about a month and a half, 2 months later, whenever it was ready to taste, and he was like, man, this takes me back to Germany a little bit. Every time I share this thing with anybody that's at least not a judge, everybody always says that they quite enjoy it, that they like it and would like to know more about the style. So hopefully this is one of those styles that maybe comes back a little bit more in popularity. Maybe there will be some commercial examples one day. I know here in the local Texas area that there was one brewery, I think they had put one out, and we talked about it when I was a guest on the Draft Queens, and when I shared the Roggenbier and quite a few other homebrews that I had brought that day with them. They really dug it, but like I said, it's kind of another one of those that it's opened a little bit to interpretations of kind of what you're seeing from the guide style lines. So let's take a look at it. Beautiful, beautiful color. Again, nice, clean, clear looking. Man, that aroma has a nice, just kind of medium rye, kind of clove aroma. And then on the back end of the aroma, it just has like an ever so slight of that kind of banana ester, like that sweetness, kind of just carrying it through. My mouth is watering, just anticipating drinking this one. It's kind of funny, that first sip, kind of at the beginning, get a little bit of kind of almost like that banana sweetness, and I wonder if that's just because of the aroma hitting the nose and the mouth cavity kind of last, but now it comes in first. That's the first thing that you would pick up on this. And then it just kind of has a nice little, just medium kind of that rye kind of phenolic clove pepper taste. It's not abrasive at all. This is a good sipper here to me. A nice little like lawnmower beer, you know. Of course it's a little bit darker. With the starting and the finishing gravities on it, I know it's a little bit under, you know, your typical like 5% American, you know, light lager or American blonde type beer, but for it to be as light ABV, I feel like with the medium taste that this thing has, it like packs a little bit of a punch for being kind of like as low ABV as it is. It tastes pretty complex, especially like now that I've had a moment for my palate to kind of just equalize and adjust. Like I kind of feel it a little bit of like that spiciness dance across here. and just the same thing, kind of that nice sweetness, nice aroma, moving into the spiciness and complexity of the rye and everything. This Hefeweizen yeast that I use, I've not changed the yeast. I haven't changed any of the grains, none of the hops in this thing. This is just like kind of one of those ones. As soon as I brewed it, I was like, man, I love this beer. I don't know if there's any changes that I want to make to this thing or that I need to make. You know, sometimes nobody else has to like that beer but you, and this might be one of those ones, even though everybody that I've shared it with, like I said, really likes it. I don't think the judges necessarily care for it, but who cares? If it's a cold beer, it's in your hand, and it's the one that you like, don't let nobody tell you no different. So, after it's all said and done, and now that I've switched more to kegging than bottling and bottling conditioning, I guess I don't have to feel as guilty about holding on to these as much as possible. That transition between kegging and bottling and waiting and stuff like that, that kind of goes away, where I don't have to be like, oh man, it's gonna take a month for that beer to come back around and be ready once I brew it. So this is just a good dang beer. If you give it a try, you like it, please let me know. If you know of anything that you think of that I should use to improve this beer, let me know, between all the boil additions that we've done and all that. But I can't really think of anything that I really just over the top want to change. We'll average out those score sheets, like I said, towards the end of the year. We'll see what direction. Maybe this will be one of those beers where I'll brew one for competitive or turn-ins anyways, and then I'll just keep brewing my own, and we'll see kind of where the differences lie then at that point. Taste test them back to back. Anyways, thank you so much guys for stopping in, checking in on us, and joining us on this Roggenbier. This beer is a lot of fun. We'll see you next time with a new brew. Bye. Thank you for coming today. God dang it. Today's project, Roggenbier. Was that Scottish? German? Irish? I don't know.